Welcome back, everyone, to Pod of Thrones. I'm Jeff.
I'm Jennifer.
We're back?
Are we?
It's been a long time again, babe.
I know. We're so bad, but we've been so busy. It's so... Life is so hard right now.
I feel like we say that a lot.
We're whiners.
I know.
But it is. I don't know.
Well, I think I've got like almost like a chronic fatigue thing going on myself. Hopefully I won't sound really tired right now, which, I mean, work's kicking my ass. But that's a problem for everybody, isn't it?
Well, some people don't have jobs. That's a real problem.
Well, that's a different kind of problem. That's true. But work's really been kicking my ass. But you know what? We're here.
Life has caught up.
We're here.
And now we're ahead again.
We're ahead. Right.
Sort of.
Okay. So, what are we doing? I thought we should catch up on Game of Thrones because we haven't really talked about Game of Thrones in a while, and this is sort of a Game of Thrones podcast, I guess. But I feel like there's a void in maybe that's part of the problem. Maybe I'm just depressed from a lack of Game of Thrones.
No,
it just seems so short, and then it's so far away, and maybe that's part of it.
Far away. Do you want to talk about that?
I would love to. I hear that you might have some headlines for us.
Well...
Extra! Read all about it! Get your face!
Jennifer's News Corner.
I don't know if this was released elsewhere, but there was an interview with Sophie Turner by Vanity Fair where she revealed that it's not going to be released in 2018 like some people had hoped. But
like all of us had hoped.
Instead, it will be released in 2019.
Now I feel I'm sleepy already. I was feeling pretty good. You and I played Rock Band tonight for the first time in months. I'm feeling kind of energized because I was moving my body for once.
No.
And now you say not till 2019.
But you know what?
I'm just depressed.
Maybe a spin-off show will come before then. Maybe they'll surprise us.
It will take them. They're working on spin-off shows, right? I mean,
Yes.
the conceptualization at least has started, but these things take years to make.
They should have planned this better.
You've got to map out whatever that storyline's going to be. You've got to then start writing scripts. You've got to do casting, then filming, special effects. Oh my God. Years.
Yeah, I know, but
I mean, they can't even get us 6 episodes of Game of Thrones in a 1 year span of time.
What else could they do? Can you imagine what they would fill if they had more episodes? What would they fill it with? What's missing?
Game of Thrones?
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, so if it's 6 episodes for the final season, but those episodes are all at least an hour and a half, which is kind of what they're saying, then we get our fill, technically. But it's going to go by so fast. I mean, that's only a month and a half.
I know. Well, this last one was 7 episodes, and it was like super fast.
Well, and some of those episodes were not very long though either. In fact, I think one of them was like the shortest episode ever.
It was like 45 minutes or something.
And then one of them was the longest episode ever.
But what I'm saying is it was over in a blink of an eye.
Right. And this will be over even slightly faster.
And then it's over forever.
I think I would rather have more 1 hour episodes than 6 90-minute episodes because of just prolonging it a little bit. I'm going to miss it so bad when it's gone.
How about if we stop halfway through them and then we save it for the next week? And then we have 12 weeks. We'll have 12 whole weeks.
Well, by the time we get to the end of all the episodes, we'll be...
Okay, here's what we'll do.
The rest of the world will know how the show ends a month and a half ago.
What we will do is this.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
We will watch every season again.
Okay.
During all of the next time until side shows come out.
Sideshows? Spinoffs?
Yes.
Okay. The sideshows with the flipper boy and the bearded lady.
We saw the bearded lady at the house of...
We did.
What was it?
The House of Beetle? No.
Beetle House. Yes.
For your daughter's birthday, we went
Yes,
to
did we
Beetle
talk about
House.
that here?
I
Anywhere?
don't know. Probably
Beetle
not.
House, LA. It was pretty cool if you get a chance to stop by. They
There's a Beetle House in New York. There's a
Mm-hmm.
Beetle House in Los Angeles. So as long as you can get to a coast of the United States, you could go to a Tim Burton themed bar and restaurant.
Yeah. They had performers walking around. It was pretty cool.
It was also maybe the most expensive meal I've ever taken anyone to in my life. But they fucked up real bad on seating us, and we got a big discount, which was still the most expensive meal in my life. So I'm glad we didn't have to pay full price for that for your daughter's 14th birthday, because that was crazy expensive. But we did see a bearded lady.
Yes, we did.
And it was a really interesting place. So much Tim Burton inspired art and people in costumes that are like employees. So they're like really nice costumes. And you got your Edward Scissorhands and your Willy Wonka and your, who else was there? Oh, I don't remember now. There was a
Sally was there.
Sally. That's right. I knew there was a girl.
There's a
There was
lady
Sally.
banging nails into her nose.
Yeah, but she's not a Tim Burton character.
No.
She was just a part of a local freak show. And that, I'm not being mean, that's what they call themselves.
Right. I don't remember anybody else.
She was the bearded lady, too. She was the bearded lady who also pounded nails into her head.
Oh, no, there was another lady that did the nails, too.
That the first time we went there.
Right.
When it was
I think
just,
she's
when we were without the kids, we saw a different freak who didn't have a beard, but did hammer nails into her face. Not something I've ever wanted to do. But,
me either. I'm okay without that.
you know, if you find your calling in life, it's important that you really try to go with it, right? But, you know, if you can make it a career, if you wake up every day,
right?
if you wake up every day and you're gonna be doing something you love, like pounding nails into your face, then you're a happy person.
Do you think that maybe they like used to pick their nose a lot and they liked it? And like, hey, what happens if I stick this in there?
I don't know. Maybe you just have to do a lot of cocaine until you have like holes in your nose that you can stick things through and then it doesn't hurt you. I don't
like watching the guys that hook their noses and hang themselves by it.
Well, there was a guy on America's Got Talent that did that, right?
Yeah. You. Okay, back to the story.
I'm gonna.
Where
sneeze
were
now.
we? You're
Sorry.
imagining hooks in your nose?
I guess so. All that talk of, whew, got me all verklempt, I guess. Right. So Game of Thrones, not till 2019. I don't know how we went from that to bearded ladies. Oh, you said sideshows. We certainly do have lots of other TV to keep us busy. That hasn't been a problem yet.
Well, it is now.
But Game of Thrones is the best.
We're out of stuff to watch now. If anybody has any
Excuse
suggestions,
me, we're
please
watching
tell
The
us.
Punisher. Well,
Well,
I
yeah,
have
that.
suggestions.
But that's not.
What? You don't like it that much?
I
think it's pretty great.
I just need a little more female characters.
The Punisher is not a very female-centric show. That's true. But we haven't finished the show yet. I don't know how it's going to end. I assume the Punisher will punish everybody because that's what he does. But so far, there's the combination of like the Punisher ultra-violence, which is just fun to watch because you know it's fake more than anything. But it's fun to watch. And an interesting sort of plot that's twisting and turning. But there's also an entire backdrop in this show all about what soldiers go through when they come back from war.
Yes.
And I haven't been in the military, but from everything I've read and seen and tried to pay attention to in the last many years, it seems to me to be pretty accurate. But I was talking to someone just the other day at work who is a former Marine, and some of this nerdy shit. Oh, he has a Game of Thrones ringtone on his phone. So we started talking about all the nerdy shows that we all love. And I asked him about The Punisher, And he agrees that the portrayals are really well done, and they're covering really important topics. As far, it's the soldiers that are feeling abandoned when they get home, and the state of like the VA, which they don't get that granular here so much. But that's sort of what it comes down to, is that it's not always physical health care because you've been shot. There's a lot of mental health care that goes by the wayside, and it's really not a partisan issue at all, much as you and I may hate that fucking orange beast in the office. It's been a problem for decades, maybe forever. I don't know. So it's on both sides of the aisle. We send them to war, and then we don't take care of them when they come back. And that's a lot of what The Punisher is about. Don't know how some of those plots are going to weave in for the final act. Can't wait to find out. But I think it's really interesting.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So we're watching that.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to find it here. I do still have a list of shows that listeners have suggested. I know Lore Master Kevin had some too. I miss him. We need to talk to him soon. But I didn't write those down at the time. But other shows I have on the list that people have recommended to us include Suits, which I think is about a law firm.
Yes, I've heard.
And Black Sails, Pirates.
Haven't heard of that.
The Handmaid's Tale, Walking Dead. We got that covered now. American Gods, and then also Masters of Sex.
Ooh, that one sounds good.
You're in for that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. There you go.
What's it about?
Well, it's hard to say from the title. I don't know.
All right. Yeah. Well, we'll find out maybe tonight.
Well, let's get to podcasting then, lady.
Okay.
If you have other suggestions, because I'm sure if we're watching these, because people that listen to Pod of Thrones have suggested it, we'll talk about it at least a little bit after we've seen some.
Yeah.
Just like The Walking Dead was all Lionheart's fault. That listener of ours who's been listening for a long time.
And we loved it.
And we wound up loving it.
Even though it's just like a soap opera for zombies.
For zombies?
Well, with zombies.
Zombies kicking back on the couch, watching this. Stupid living guys always getting away from us.
Yeah, I mean, they are the majority, it seems.
The walkers?
Yes.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
But let's keep talking about Game of Thrones first. We'll get to The Walking Dead.
By the time the 8th season ends, it will have been 12 years since Game of Thrones started. I just thought that was an interesting fact. Really?
Well.
Since they began on this journey.
Okay, well, I can buy that.
The story of Sam and Gilly.
We, of course, as we always are, we relate to the party. But it would seem like every year it's always like a little more than 12 months before we actually get more episodes. Mm-hmm. So we don't know what the lulls were like between those first few seasons. But it does not surprise me, I guess, really, that it's been 12 years.
Speaking of the first few seasons, I did find out something interesting.
Yeah.
There was an initial pilot. Did you know about this? There was an initial pilot that they had that nobody ever saw because it was so bad.
Was it made by HBO or was it just like some people on YouTube?
No, it was made by HBO. They, in an interview with Kit Harington, he said that it was just like long, drawn out scenes of like landscape stuff where they were just like traveling and it just took forever and it was boring and just awful. And so they redid the whole thing.
That explains everything, babe. I mean, now travel's like fucking teleportation.
Right. Maybe that was, they're like, I think they overcompensated.
Originally they were going more of the Lord of the Rings route where it's just hour upon hour of watching people walk.
Yeah, he was basically just walking.
For the record, I love those movies, but there is a lot of walking.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's all about the journey.
That's exactly what it's about.
I know. Season 7, the Blu-ray disc. Now, didn't they already release that? Because it says they're releasing it on December 12th.
December 12th? That's any day now. Huh.
Well, it's in 4 days.
I'm humming for a reason.
But
I
anyway,
wanna talk about
season
it.
7 Blu-ray DVD releases December 12th, and they have special commentaries from the cast.
That would be worth watching.
Yeah. Now, I was wondering if some of those, didn't we get some season 7 codes that we gave away to people?
We did.
That
Yes.
that wasn't this.
We gave those away to some lucky people that were at our panel. Slack, Stanley's Comic-Con. I don't think that had commentary tracks. I think it was
that's
just
too
the
bad.
episodes, but that's still kind of awesome.
Yeah. And I also read that there was another interesting interview with Stephen, or is it Stephen or Stephen Dillane?
I think it's Stephen
Dillane, who is Stannis' character. He
No, he's he's Stannis' actor. Stannis is a fake guy. Just want to make sure we're clear on that for anyone in the audience who's like, oh, it is real. I always knew it.
He didn't understand the part he was playing at all during the entire time that they did the filming. He didn't understand. I don't know if it's because he didn't speak a different language, or
You mean literally didn't understand?
literally didn't understand it, and so he was really disappointed. And he hated. Wait, hang on, I have some quotes. He said he didn't understand, and Liam Cunningham, who's Davos's actor,
Yes.
he tried to explain it to him, what was going on in the story, but he could never get it. Yeah,
But-
he said he hated
Okay,
his
so
performance.
you don't mean literal understanding of the language, because I've just
Literal.
but babe, I've just looked him up. He's an English actor. He's
Okay,
not.
well,
it's
okay,
not like
I don't
he's
know,
from-
but he said he hated his performance and he was disheartened, and he said that he didn't think anyone would believe in him.
Well, that's probably true.
Um,
There's a lot of people that like Stannis from the books. He seems to have a solid following. I don't know about show Stannis in terms of a following.
well, yeah, they did say that they got some flack for not following Stannis' character in the book closer.
Who I believe is still alive. I don't think he's. I think the books.
Uh,
Yeah, actually, I think the books left off before he actually got to Winterfell, and he did not kill his daughter, Shireen. She's still alive. She did not get burned.
Shireen.
So yeah, they deviated a lot from the books. And let's face it, burning your daughter to death while she screams in terror. I mean, they didn't even knock her out or anything, which you could do. I mean, it's still her blood. Burning your daughter to death, not a great way to win hearts and minds in the show or in the audience.
Well, here's probably the problem. He didn't read the books.
Who? Stephen Dillane?
Right.
Okay.
No. Yes. Is that his last name? Is that what I said?
Yes.
Okay. Didn't sound familiar. So he didn't read the book. So they're like, okay, so there's this story about these people that end up being magical and all this stuff happens. And he's like, what? And I'm playing a king that's trying to fight. He just didn't get it, he said.
Okay.
Anyway, he has a new movie coming out December 22nd. It's about World War II. It's a drama, and it's called The Darkest Hour. Have you heard of it?
I don't think I have.
He's
What's it
also, it's about World War II, and it's a drama.
All
He also,
World War II is a big topic, but go on.
I don't know. I didn't.
Okay,
I didn't
fine.
read about it or
Fine.
watch the trailer. I
Fine.
just wanted to
Fine.
mention that in
That's
case
okay.
people
All
are
right.
a Stannis fan. Maybe they want to go see it.
Okay.
He's also in an ongoing British-French crime drama called The Tunnel.
Sounds dark. Well, I've got some good Stephen Dillane trivia for you, besides the fact that he's from England and therefore almost definitely understands English.
Okay. I didn't say he didn't. I just said I don't
You
know.
said he
if
literally didn't understand.
No, I didn't.
I said the language, and you said yes. I mean, he would actually be an amazing actor if, he only spoke, Mandarin Chinese,
Maybe
and he
he's
pulled that
French.
off.
Antonio Banderas did that for a while.
He only spoke Mandarin Chinese?
Yes.
Here's some Stephen Dillane trivia. He has a son named Frank.
Huh?
And if that doesn't mean anything to you, it should. But Frank Dillane, who is only 26 while Stephen Dillane is fucking 60. So that's interesting too. But he plays Nick, the fucking heroin dude with the crazy fucking hair on Fear the Walking Dead.
Oh, huh. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. We didn't make it that far in that show, but I still think we should watch it some more at some point. Your neck's hurting you right now, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, damn it.
It's okay. I can do
You were
this.
good for a few hours. We should have podcasted during the high of the, whatever was going on there.
A high rock band.
Well, the high of Rock Band, but, you had your once in a while painkiller that you use.
That's okay.
Good times. Life is good.
Shush. That's all I've got for my news.
That's all you got for your news. 2019, Stephen Dillane doesn't speak English, and there was something else.
Unaired pilot.
Unaired pilot. That's got to be out there somewhere. I mean, those hackers could steal the newest episode.
It says it's not. They say it's not out there.
It's got to be out there.
They locked it down.
Everything is out. Well, yeah, they locked everything down, and yet, plenty of hacking this year. Just saying. They probably, it's going to be out there soon because Jon Snow talked about it. And if he's going to talk about it now, it's like, he's like taunting the hackers now. He probably doesn't realize he is. But all those hackers are going to be like, oh, they got something locked down. Gotta get it. That's how they talk.
That's how hackers.
That's how hackers talk. Gotta get it.
All right.
Yep. So that's the end of Headline Corner. What?
I have trivia for you.
You have trivia for me. You said you wanted to ask a really hard trivia question, and then you said, where's that game that we have with the trivia? And I said, we gave it away, and you said,
I looked up. I used the Google.
You used the Google. Okay.
Okay, ready?
All right.
Who says, which do you favor, your fingers or your tongue?
I think.
Do you want me to give you the choices?
Nope.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you who I think said it. I'm going to tell you where I think he said it and to who, though I don't think I know that guy's name.
All right.
But all right.
Okay.
And then just wait until then to tell me how wrong I am. Okay?
All right.
I think, don't react. I'm going to close my eyes. I think it was said by Joffrey in the throne room while talking to a bard who he had just made sing an insulting song about him that someone overheard in a tavern and then turned him in, and he had to go in front of Joffrey, and then he lost his tongue.
You are correct.
Fuck yeah.
All right, ready?
And you know who took his tongue out?
Who?
That bad guy. Damn it.
Oh.
Wasn't it Trant? Marin Trant? Sir Marin Trant? I think he was the one that took the tongue out. Although it could have been Ilan Payne, who also was missing a tongue. One of those two guys. Maybe both of them together.
Who killed Beric Dondarrion first?
Ah, damn. I was like the champion now. Now you're going to hit me with more. Who killed Beric Dondarrion first? Well, no, that one's not so hard. I'm pretty sure that was the mountain, which we never saw on camera. It happened off screen while Beric was trying to chase him down on the orders of Ned Stark.
No, you are correct.
Thank you.
According to the Dothraki, where does your spirit go if your body is buried? Oh, you don't know this one.
Inside a horse's anus to be shat out for all eternity.
How about the Old Country, the Nightlands Nowhere, or the Grass Sea?
Oh, well, that's not fair. Nowhere I thought was probably kind of the answer, but I didn't think that was
Should I select Nowhere for you?
Is it Nowhere? Oh, what, are we playing a game?
Wrong.
What is it?
Oh, it didn't tell me. It didn't tell me.
All right, well, someone write in and
I
tell
think
us.
it's the Nightlands.
Okay. No, well, I thought the Nightlands was a good place.
Well, you die.
Well, yeah, but you're not supposed to be buried, right? Don't they do funeral pyres?
Oh, I don't know now. You're right. What can definitely kill a White Walker? Psh.
Nothing, because White Walkers are the most amazing. Well, we know Dragonglass and Valyrian Steel.
Dragonglass. Who cuts off Jaime Lannister's hand?
The hunter, whose name I can never remember.
Oh.
The guy that looks a lot like Count Rugen from The Princess Bride.
Think Lost.
Lost? I don't know, babe. It's good. I could start going through Lost characters, but it'll tell you. Yeah.
Really?
Hurley, Lord Hurley.
It's Locke.
Oh yeah, Locke. Not
All right.
Lord Hurley. Okay.
That's it. That's all we got. Wait. Let me.
That's
No.
all the trivia
Who
there
says?
is.
Oh
May the force be with you.
no. Who says? Chaos isn't a pit. It's a ladder.
Chaos isn't a pit. It's a ladder. That guy that I love.
Yes.
Uh-oh. Holy shit, it's been too long. Wait. Oh no. Baelish. There we go. Whew. Fuck me.
As Bran learns, the Stark way is the blank way.
Dead? The dead way? Is that an option?
No. Would you like your options?
Yeah, sure.
Cold, honorable, old, or new?
I don't know. They all died, so let's just go with cold because winter's coming.
Wrong. Oh, the answer is old. I got it that time.
The Stark way is the old way. Now, is that good or is that bad?
I don't know.
What's the new way?
Bran's pretty lame right now.
If the new way is like crows flicking their eyes like camera shutters, then okay. But I don't know. I think the Night's King's coming for him.
Who has Brienne sworn her loyalty to? Ugh.
Who hasn't she sworn her
I
loyalty
know,
to?
she's such a whore.
Would you call her an oath whore? Was that her old name?
An oath slut.
Oath slut. There we go.
She oaths herself to the next person that comes along.
Yeah, I mean, she was oath to Renly, and then she was oath to Catelyn, and then she was oathed to dead Catelyn, and then she was oathed to Sansa, and then she was oathed to
Arya?
well, I guess still Sansa.
Did you say
Did she pledge herself to Arya separately? She might have.
I feel like she pledged herself to somebody else.
She's gonna pledge herself to
Jaime.
Tormund.
Oh, no, not Jaime.
Ah.
All right, ready?
She'll try, but I don't think he's into oath sluts.
You going with Catelyn Stark, right?
Oh, yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I tried to give you a comprehensive
House
list.
Stark, Stannis Baratheon, House Baratheon.
Stannis. What?
Those are choices.
Oh, those are the choices. Oh, okay. I thought that was like her list, and I was going to say, there's no way she didn't pledge herself to Stannis.
Okay, I'm just choosing Catelyn Stark for you.
All right.
That's correct. Historically, Baratheon babies are born with what hair color?
I guess black.
Correct.
Yeah.
Let's see.
That's so stupid.
Oh,
have we ever seen a
that's
Baratheon
stupid.
girl? I mean, did they really all have black hair? That's got to get so boring. But it is a fantasy world. I
Black
guess.
hair is beautiful.
Is it beautiful when everybody has black hair?
Well, what about the Lannisters with the blonde hair?
Right, I know. I mean, that's boring too.
Okay. I thought you were just digging on black hair.
Oh, of course not.
What does the What does the horn blast mean for the Night's Watch?
Well, it could be 1, 2, or 3 horn blasts. One horn blast means.
I don't have.
Wait, no. One horn blast means. Well, like one horn. Okay, so there's like Rangers are coming back,
Right.
And there's like
One
open
is
the
Rangers
gates,
are returning.
and then there's fucking White Walkers are coming.
2 is open the gates.
Buckle your shoe,
3 is danger. Danger.
Will Robinson.
Okay, so here's the choices. Others spotted, Rangers returning, Rangers in trouble, wildlings spotted. I know. Who made this?
Well, it could be it could be Rangers returning or others spotted because the others are the White
my
Walkers.
gosh, there's 100 questions.
You're not seriously gonna. I mean, I guess we don't have to talk about Walking Dead.
No. Okay, so what do you want me to put?
I don't.
I'm going with others. Rangers returning.
It just said, "What does the horn blast mean?"
Yeah.
Well, that's stupid.
Oh, no. It says when.
Rangers returning. I hope other people are laughing like we're laughing, because otherwise this is the worst episode
All
ever.
right.
No, keep going. You know what? Let's just do this. Can we do like a 2-hour episode where you ask me 100 trivia questions badly?
No.
We just
Who
fuck
gets
them all
stabbed
up?
in the eye?
Who doesn't get stabbed? Ned Stark's number 1. Fuck, I don't remember his name right now.
Okay, I'll read them.
Oh, okay.
Jory Castle.
That's it.
All right.
Jory Cassell.
Cassell. Okay. Well, let's just stop right there because that's 10.
Oh.
We can keep going. You want to do 90 more?
Sure, we've only been recording like, I don't know, 25, 30 minutes.
Oh.
How about can you bookmark that and then skip past? Is it a scrolling thing or do you have to get through each question?
Each question.
Oh, it's going to get rough if we try to do it over the course of like 10 weeks. Because it's not going to remember where you left off.
Yeah, but you know what? I've backed out a couple times. And
maybe it will remember where you left off. If each question is its own like web page, it might. If it's not like an app driven kind of thing, like coded into the web page that you're looking at.
I don't know.
Let's just try it. Let's just leave it on your question 11 and we'll try to come back to it. And if it works, cool. And if it doesn't, then I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everybody.
Okay.
Okay. Well, now should we talk a little Walking Dead then? Do a little catch up?
Sure. Let's do Walking Dead.
We're
going to have to do a holiday episode.
A Walking Dead holiday episode?
I don't know.
Or like a Our Lives holiday special?
Maybe.
Should we do like a sing it song and dance number or?
Yes.
Okay. This weekend, we're going to work on what will hopefully be a pretty cool project with a friend of ours that involves video. That's all I'm going to say for now, because if it all gets fucked up, then I haven't teased too many things.
Such a tease.
I'm sorry. There's been a lot of requests, but it's not a sex tape.
A lot of requests.
Tons. Hundreds. Every day.
Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm. So we have been talking about Walking Dead. And we were doing pretty well there for a while. We recorded every week for a few weeks, and then we kind of stopped. And part of that was, a lot of that was the fatigue that's kept us from all podcasting, or at least me, for a while now. Haven't been doing much. But part of it was I was just pissed off at the show. I don't know about you, but I was getting pretty annoyed after a few weeks of not getting any resolutions or any questions answered to some of the stuff from the season premiere.
Well, they've dragged it out so they can have more episodes. This is what Game of Thrones would be like. Just killing of more things in the woods.
Well, I mean, every episode has a point. It's not that they don't. The only time we were warned by one friend of ours at San Diego Comic-Con, we were warned that if we're going to watch Walking Dead, we should really only watch like 3 or 4 key episodes per season and just fuck everything else. But we didn't have an episode guide for what that should be, so we gave it a chance and
we got sucked in.
There was only that one stretch where I think we both agreed it was going on too long with the sickness in the jail.
Right.
And I'm not saying that this stuff's going on too long, but for a lot of the show that we watched 7 seasons of it, it was often frustrating because there would be a cliffhanger to an episode and it's like midnight and you're exhausted and I'm kind of tired and then there's a cliffhanger and it's like, okay, we're just going to watch the first 5 minutes of the next one because we want to see what happens. And that pretty much never worked.
Yeah, they would
Because
always
they would
skip.
Right. They would leave you a cliffhanger and then they would go over to the other plot for an episode. But then they'd come back. And this shit wasn't coming back. And that was really starting to piss me off.
It took a long time to get back to Negan and Gabriel.
That was the big one.
Right.
That was the big one because we left it off on the, you got your shit pants on. Shitting pants. That guy who I was talking to with the Punisher, and he watches Walking Dead, and he joked. He said, "You got your shitting pants on," and he really loved that. And he's a couple episodes behind, so he hasn't seen the resolution yet. But I told him the whole story about us going to Comic-Con and how there was the shit pants line, and somewhere in those intervening few months, they changed it from shit pants to shitting pants, and he thought that was funny.
Do you like shit pants better?
I think he agrees. Yeah, there's something special about shit pants.
What do y'all like? Shit pants or shitting pants?
We should do a poll on Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, set that up as soon as we're done recording.
Okay.
Take a poll. We'll keep
Don't
it
let me
open for
forget.
a few days. Shit pants or shitting pants?
Done.
Okay, good. All right, so let's just run through quickly. Not a full like scene by scene recap, but let's just run through quickly the Walking Dead episodes that we haven't talked about yet. I'm pretty sure we recapped episodes 1, 2, and 3, and then we skipped. We haven't done anything for 4, 5, 6, and 7, and then next week is episode 8, which is the mid-season finale. And
Yay.
actually, I shouldn't say next week. It's really in 2 days as of when we're recording this, probably 1 day from when this goes live. So let's see. We had episode 4, Some Guy. This was an episode all about King Ezekiel.
I'm just some guy.
I'm just some guy. I don't deserve a tiger. Save my life. Yes. So it was all about Ezekiel. It was a touching episode at times. Of course, there was no resolution to the Negan stuff, but so this was all about his journey getting away after like all of the kingdom fighters are killed except for Carol and Jerry.
Mm-hmm.
Jerry's awesome. I hope Jerry never dies, which now that I've said that means he's probably going to die soon.
Probably.
But he's great. His big ass battle axe.
I think maybe Negan might kill him.
Negan might kill Jerry personally.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be a good show of strength for Negan because Jerry looks like he'd be a hard one to take on in a hand-to-hand combat.
Yes.
Yeah. It could happen. I could see that. So we had Carol trying to intercept the guns. We had Ezekiel just trying to get away and survive, but he got captured by some douche with like goofy glasses who was insistent that he was going to get the king back to Negan.
Right.
I'm sure if you did that, I'm sure there would be amazing rewards from a guy like Negan. Negan does treat people well when they do him good. And if you could get the king or the widow or Rick. Did Rick have a nickname? Or was he just Rick? I think he's just Rick.
Rick the Dick?
Because everyone knows Rick.
I don't know.
Rick or the widow, which no one knew, or the king. I'm sure you would get a really good prize. Don't know what that would be, but a really good prize. You'd be set up for a while. Anyway, so Ezekiel's getting tormented by this guy. Jerry saves the day. Meanwhile, Carol is trying to get the guns, but there's just a few too many guys for even a badass like her to just take out on her own, but she manages to get them with zombies, doesn't she? And
Yes, she does.
but then she gets distracted by the king. She gets distracted by Ezekiel and Jerry because they're about to die, so she goes to save them and the guns get away.
Mm-hmm.
Only to be intercepted out of fucking nowhere by Rick and Daryl. They just zoom out, zoom, and there they are, and they're chasing the guys down who are in the truck with
They were
big
on the
guns.
way.
I guess.
All right.
But the timing was just too good.
Right. And it seemed that episode seemed to drag on and on and on, too.
Well, yeah, it all took place in one pretty small area. We were going back and forth between Carol and the king, but they were like 100 yards from each other for most of that episode and just didn't know it. It did drag on a bit. Can't argue that. Maybe that's one of those things where people say Walking Dead just plods along. But it didn't really bother me much. It was a little long, but it was emotional. That we had Shiva showed up at the end just to save some guy, Ezekiel.
Poor Shiva, and got eaten by
Shiva got
zombies.
ate by radioactive toxic zombies.
Yes.
Yeah, that was gross. So that was some guy. And it all ended with Ezekiel sort of slinking back into town and people looking for answers, but he just couldn't face them. That was a real shame.
He turned into Rick. Remember when Rick broke down and he couldn't lead?
Yeah. Yes, I do. But now most of the like potential leaders of the kingdom are dead. Maybe Jerry will lead. That'd be all right.
Is that guy still alive?
That guy or some guy
from the town?
That guy from the town
where what's her name died?
Oh boy.
What's her fucking name? April? No. Blonde hair that I don't like.
Andrea? Who died 4 seasons ago?
Yeah, is that guy still alive? Did he die? I feel like he disappeared and we never saw him again.
Which guy?
The head guy of that town that was all...
The governor?
Yeah.
Yeah, the governor died.
Oh.
The governor died in his second run when he came back. He had that whole thing where he sort of fell in love and didn't want to be a leader anymore, but then these people were just making bad decisions and they were getting robbed, so he decided he was going to lead and he started murdering people. Yeah. He killed Herschel. You can't kill Herschel and then make it out of that season alive. Can't do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Yes? Next episode? All right. So then we had the big scary you, which we found out quickly was unknown. But this was episode 5 of the season, and we saw Gabriel. Wait, was this the big Gabriel? Oh, this was the flashback. Yes. So this was the flashback leading up at first. Like we got a whole lot of information about what happened the day of episode 1, where there was the big assault on the sanctuary. But we saw what was happening on the inside, where they were having like a staff meeting, and then the inner circle was trying to decide what to do about Rick because they knew something was coming, but they didn't have all the info as to what. But some things were going wrong. There's a spy on the inside. They don't know who it is. Of course, it's Dwight, but they didn't know that. But we saw Gregory. Gregory and Simon working together, where Gregory was going to do that whole thing. We're like, well, I'll just tell people they can't come back to Hilltop unless they decide to stand down, and then we'll be merciful to them. That didn't work out very well.
The guy plays a good weasel, huh?
Gregory?
Yes.
Yeah. He's just a terrible guy. I'm sure the guy in real life is awesome, but yes, he's terrible. Just want to punch him and punch him and punch him. Let's see. Rick and Daryl thought that Carol and the king were dead because the guy in the truck that they crashed told them that, but then they wound up blowing up that whole truck. And Daryl seems like he's kind of losing it too. Of course, he thought Carol was dead at the time, so he was like in no mercy mode. But we had Negan and Gabriel finally connecting. This is where it happened. So it took 4 episodes after the cliffhanger for them to come back in episode 5 to have Negan and Gabriel talking. And I thought it was pretty interesting.
Yeah, got your shitting pants on, and then what? Because they were surrounded by walkers, that was why he had to have his shitting pants on?
Well, it seemed like the impression you would get in the season 1 cliffhanger was Negan's going to bash this guy's brains in, probably using his bait to get away.
You know why he needs his shitting pants on?
Because they were both going to die. How about
because they had to put the shitty guts all over them.
That's what it wound up being, for sure. Yes, I get that. We also had the inner circle trying to figure out what to do because they thought Negan was dead. Let's not forget that. They were having problems with the workers who were like all hungry and worried.
Right.
And
Everybody's in an uprising.
they needed a leader because these guys were starting to get
Because it's been like 10 minutes.
kind of uppity asking for water. Yeah, how long had it been? That's a good question.
I mean, maybe a day.
It couldn't have been much more than a day, right? Because Gabriel and Negan didn't have water.
Right. They were just out there for a little while.
Yeah. We got a little bit of Negan background. Didn't see it, unfortunately. I'd love to see what he used to look like and dress like.
He lost his wife.
Well, he also says he used to help children. He said he used to help children and show them the way, but we didn't get the full details on that. But he did confess that, he decided he was going to make Gabriel his special project to find Gabriel's purpose. But Gabriel keeps pushing him for a confession because Gabriel thinks his purpose is to try to be a good priest now and get people to examine themselves and become better people. And there was almost a fight between them, but Negan again was actually being kind of an okay guy, surprisingly.
Well, he thinks he's got a... he thinks his way is right. The whole torturing if you're bad.
Well, right, but Gabriel was bad, but he wasn't the bad. He wasn't like Rick and all the others. Gabriel wasn't, he was part of the assault, but he's not that guy. And then he was a dope that saved, maybe that was it. He saved Gregory, and then Gregory fucked him over. So Negan must have seen something there of like, yeah, you're one of Rick's assholes, but
you're a good guy.
We got to figure you out.
All right. Well, maybe he thinks he needs a priest.
Maybe. Yeah. Maybe that actually he should, because religion is great for helping, keep people hopeful when.
And lawful.
It's just all bullshit going on around you. And lawful and, sometimes scared. Really depends on the type of religion.
Right.
Yeah. Particular denomination.
But.
Yeah.
Oh,
then we learned about Negan's wife. Assuming all this was true, but let me just see what my notes said here.
He lost his wife.
So Gabriel confessed to locking his congregation out. He made a confession first and said, this is what made me a complete shitheel. And then Negan said he had a wife. His first wife was his real wife. But Negan cheated on her and stuff. She was sick. She died during the zombie outbreak. Not because of it, but that probably meant... Oh, no, it did mean she became a zombie. He couldn't put her down. And he feels like that was his moment of weakness because whatever was wrong with it wasn't the merciful thing probably would be to cut that brain out.
Sure.
Cut the brain out.
Or just
stab her in the brain or do whatever you got to do to let her have peace, but he couldn't do it. And then they make friends and they cover themselves in zombie guts. And fight.
Stinky zombie guts.
They kind of fight their way out or sneak their way out. Well, they sneak their way out and then they fight their way out. Gabriel almost dies. Negan actually saves him, which again, strange. I don't get Negan. I think we're not supposed to get Negan.
I think he really wants the priest.
He did still kill Glenn.
Oh my God. And in the worst way.
Yeah. And Abraham, of course. We shouldn't forget Abraham. Bob DiStefano. Woo. And then just as the shit's about to hit fan with the workers, Negan shows up in the sanctuary and all the workers kneel again. They're not mad anymore. They're going to go back and be good boys and girls.
All is okay again because this fucker's back.
And they're going to take care of Gabriel. He gets a nice room and all that.
You should, when they were talking about his wife, Gabriel said to him, well, you weren't always like this. That's how he found out about his wife, but forcing marriage upon these women. And that's when Negan got all weird. He knows he's doing bad. Yeah.
Maybe he'll repent. Again, I don't know if you can really come back from splattering people's brains.
Maybe.
Just for fun. Seemingly having fun with it.
Maybe he'll get all religious.
Maybe he's just an actor like Ezekiel's an actor. And he never wanted to beat brains in, never.
And it kills him inside every time
Every night he
does
cries himself to sleep.
Yeah.
But he's just he's leading the only way his daddy taught him how. Splatter them brains.
That's it.
And then at the very end of that episode, Gabriel has a fever. which turns out to be important.
Poor Gabriel.
Yeah. All right. Next episode, The King, the Widow, and Rick. There we go. That is what they're called. They got the King, the Widow, and then Rick. That's all he's known as. He doesn't need no nickname. He's just Rick. Right. So we saw Carl and Michonne for like a minute. There were some letters going around, part of the, I guess, the war on sanctuary mail service, so that they can keep each other apprised of what's happening. If only they had owls or ravens or something just to carry those letters. Wouldn't that be so cool?
Yeah, you would think they would get smart.
We see Aaron for the first time in a few episodes, looking super sad, but bringing the baby to Hilltop.
Oh, the baby.
This was a episode with a lot of Hilltop in it and a lot of the prisoners. And, not much happens, but we see, there's a couple guys that might be kind of okay in the prisoner camp. They're at least trying to make things peaceful and not cause any trouble, but then you still got that greasy long-haired guy who just wants to be a shit.
Mm-hmm. And is this the episode where they put Gregory in with them?
Yes. Gregory is not happy. Maggie has had enough of Gregory's bullshit, and he gets locked in. They bring the prisoners inside the walls, which is kind of a big deal, but they built a pen for them first. And the whole drama of it was, are they building gallows so they can hang these guys? Because Maggie kind of wants to kill them too, and even Gregory's saying, like, we should kill him, but you got Jesus, who ain't having none of that.
Right.
That's not their way.
It's not their way. There's going to be trouble.
Right here in River City.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. And we saw, I don't remember which episode it was where you see like Rick getting stared down the barrel of a gun by what looked to be one of the trash people, but sure enough it was. He was captured by the trash people. We saw Jadis naked, building a statue or something. And
that lady is fucking crazy.
So, along with the other stuff, the same guy at work, I was talking to him about, he had read some of the comics, but wasn't like a full comic buff. But I asked if he knew anything about Jadis's backstory, and he didn't. And I'm really going to have to research this further, because I went and looked at the timeline again for this show. And everything the fans have put together of like looking at how long everything takes and took and any references to where anyone was anywhere. As season 8 starts, it's only been like 2.5 years since Rick woke up from the coma and in the middle of a zombie apocalypse. How the trash people could lose language that quickly just boggles my mind. Unless they came from some other land or maybe dimension. I really want to know what their deal is.
They take no bother.
Why? Why do they talk that way? I need answers. If anyone knows the answer to that, please tweet us or email us. Tell us.
I think that there's this crazy lady who's all eccentric. And she's like a hippie type of lady, but also maybe a socialist.
Okay.
And that's just the way she thinks. She doesn't think that they need language. So that's like her rule. You use as little words as you can to talk.
Okay.
That's what I think.
They're just conserving energy.
Maybe.
That must be it, because food's scarce.
She likes to dumb it down. Or maybe she just doesn't understand. Maybe she doesn't. I don't know.
So the other kind of interesting things for this episode, Carl got out again, and he found...
He got out.
We found who we've now come to know as Sadiq.
Yeah, this is an interesting side story.
It is. I'm looking forward to it. When we saw him in episode 1, Rick tried, scaring Sadiq off because he could be a spy for the Saviors. Do you think
he's a spy?
I don't think he's a spy.
I think he might be a spy.
I think the show just needed some new interesting blood. I know. Okay, so I think we talked about this as we watched it, actually.
Oh, yes, we did,
But I think we decided Sadiq can't be a spy because to make the first Muslim character turn out to be a undercover awful villain murderer.
For the other, right, for the bad side.
Yeah, I don't think that would be a good choice.
Right. We decided that would be too politically incorrect.
Yeah, that would be a shit thing to do in this day and age.
Mm-hmm. So he's not a spy. He's a friend.
We're declaring him a friend, not food. Right?
Right.
Zombie food, I mean.
Okay.
Yeah. So Sadiq, I hope we get to see more of him. We got 9 episodes left, but he seems like an interesting character. He's been killing walkers because
his mother's
mom, his mom thought that it was helping to like allowing their souls to move on to heaven.
Right.
Like
releasing their souls.
and I don't think he believes it necessarily. He might, but he's doing it in her honor.
Well, it's time to stop.
Stop killing zombies? But why? I mean, every zombie you kill makes the world
Because you're putting yourself at risk every time.
Yeah, but he's also starving to death.
Ugh, I don't like those things.
Let's see. We saw the king. King is moping. He can't act anymore. Blah blah blah. And what was I think there was one other sub. Oh yeah. Michonne and Rosita on the road while Carl has gotten out.
This is weird.
And they hear music, and they follow the music, and they find a music mobile. So what it turned out to be, and I think we had to wait till the next episode to get the full info on this, because I think maybe Negan talked about it too. Someone did. But it was a couple of saviors who were not at Sanctuary when all the shit went down, but then they got close to Sanctuary, saw the zombie horde, and figured, we got to do something about this. We got to save our saviors. So they found a place, they went to one of their hideouts, whatever, where they just happened to have a shitload of speakers, and they built themselves a speaker car, which they were then going to use, and I'm sure it would have worked brilliantly, to pull the zombie horde away and save Sanctuary.
One of those guys must have worked at like Radio Shack to figure out how to hook up all of those wires into
Car battery.
Car radio or whatever they hooked it up to.
I wouldn't know how to do it.
Mm-hmm. You need some kind of adapter.
Well, but also in this apocalypse, even at Sanctuary, they don't have a lot of toys. You certainly don't have like the internet and cell phones that you can play with. So maybe you just get to reading more books and learning new skills, because you never know when you're going to need to know how to wire shit together and make.
Right, I'm sure they had to learn how to hotwire cars a lot.
Probably. Mm-hmm.
It's a good skill to know.
Mm-hmm. Turned into a big fight. Rosita and Michonne did not quite win that fight. One girl gets away to try to drive the speaker mobile, and once again, Daryl just shows up, happens to be there. That's a thing, though. That's what I'm saying. Like, the big gun gets away.
It's like
and all
Dukes
of a sudden,
of
Daryl
Hazzard.
and Rick are just speeding along behind the truck that got away with the big gun in it, and now the speaker mobile gets away.
Right.
And just as they're zipping away, Daryl just happens to be there with an even bigger truck, and he slams
right
into them.
Right.
It's Game of Thronesian. It's like Baelish treble.
It's everything. That's
Daryl
the way TV
is everywhere. It is. I keep telling myself this. It is a comic book.
Yes.
So
these are things that
to make
happen
it make
probably
sense.
in the comic book. Scene for scene.
Just as a comic book, maybe we can accept a little more craziness from some of the plot.
I mean,
points.
it's
People
zombies
just showing up out of nowhere. I know, but it's realistic-ish. I mean, it tries to have like a scientific bent around it. It's not supernatural. It's a virus, and the CDC studied it. And, It tries to be kind of realistic.
Alrighty.
I think it's like the Christopher Nolan Batman movies. The Christopher Nolan Batman movies didn't get into like really crazy superhero universe kind of stuff. It just tried to explain how a billionaire could use his resources to take a bunch of really cool toys and put them all together and make it look like a bat.
Uh-huh.
It's like that.
Okay.
Only with zombies.
Right.
Right.
Just like that.
You're with me on this. Okay.
Yes. Always, babe.
So I think that was all of the big plot points from that episode. And then finally, episode 7, Time for After, which we found out pretty quickly was something Jadis says. Time for after. It is time for after.
Oh,
so
right.
she's going to kill Rick.
She's
Rick's
taking
been sitting
pictures.
in a sweat box. Yeah, she's taking pictures of Rick.
Brings him
we don't know
out.
why that is, do we?
No, but I wish he didn't have his boxers on.
You wish?
I wish.
You want to see Rick naked? All
Yeah.
sweaty and I bet he's not doing any manscaping down there, babe.
I can't smell him from my TV.
Well, I'm just saying, be a little overgrown.
I'm sure it's fine.
Okay, well, that's new. I didn't know you liked Rick, but
Well, I don't, but I do.
okay. So we had the Jadis plot, which came out as like they had another helmeted, like armored zombie.
Right.
On a stick.
Is it the same one?
No, because Rick killed the last one.
So this is a new one.
And why they thought like, we'll try it again.
It
We already
worked
saw
a lot.
It almost beat Rick last time. I guess it almost beat Rick this time.
It worked a lot
But
before.
they were gonna have him bitten by a zombie on a stick rather than make a deal.
Zombie on a stick.
But then he beat the zombie and got Jadis, who should have drawn her gun about an hour beforehand. When she finally
She
drew
was
her gun, it
naked.
was
She
too
didn't
late.
have the gun on her.
She wasn't naked for the zombie part though. She didn't draw her gun until the very last second. Rick, knocked her down and put her right in the zombie face. All right, so everybody surrounds him, but then I guess he won fair and square, so now we're going to be friends. Don't just shoot him like you totally could.
Right. She tells, I don't know what he was going to do. Shove her face more into the zombie.
And or shoot her. He had her gun. But once they talked him down, Jadis has no problems betraying people, so why not just be like,
Shoot him
okay,
then.
we have a deal. And he
Right.
puts the gun down, and then they kill him.
Bang, bang.
Something like that could have been done. But then he'd be dead, so we can't
But
have that.
this is a comic book.
It's a comic book, right. Let's see. We had a Eugene plot. He finally figures out, and he's not doing well.
Not psychologically.
And we don't know if it's that he knows he's doing, maybe part of it is like he knows he's working for the wrong side, but he wants to stay alive. He has these interactions with Gabriel, and he winds up screaming at him, and his face gets so red. But
Yes.
he's drinking a lot, and he's throwing up a lot, and he drinks a lot again.
Yeah, the
not a good
throwing
sign,
up
right?
was weird. It's like they made a point of showing that he was throwing up like wine or red blood. I'm not sure.
Well, he was trying to drink wine to calm himself, but then he threw up right away, and then
Well, what's wrong with him? Does that mean there's something wrong
I
with
think
him?
he's just so stressed out
I know what that's like.
that he can't function.
I know what that's like.
Well, I'm glad you didn't solve it with copious amounts of wine. That would not be good. Not good. Not good. Don't do that. But Eugene is, because it's the apocalypse. I guess he can do it. But then he comes up with an idea. He can save the saviors in a very similar way to Speaker Car. But this time it involves an iPod and a toy airplane, a remote control airplane.
Well, it's like a drone, big drone.
Yeah, kind of, I guess. Not a very good drone.
It's like a big thing.
But he gets stopped by
Kite.
Dwight, and Dwight already knew that Eugene was onto him as being the traitor, but Eugene doesn't want to turn him in, and then he threatens to kill Eugene, and then just winds up shooting the plane, which was probably the best way to go to begin with. And then this whole other thing happens with Daryl, and mostly Daryl, but like Michonne and
Tara.
Morgan, Tara, they were all there. Michonne just couldn't be a part of it, but it was the way to drop Sanctuary, which was to blow a hole in the side of it.
Right, but this was not an approved plan. This was not pre-approved by Rick.
I was going to look that up too, because I'm a little confused on that. Where did they came up with this plan on their own, I guess.
They didn't want to wait anymore. They wanted to
Yeah, but they were
force
also
the hand of Sanctuary and fuck them up. They wanted to kill everybody, and I think
they wanted it to be over.
they wanted to kill everybody. They wanted to really wipe out most of their population, and that wasn't Rick's plan. He wanted to just kill Negan.
Right.
But I think they didn't want there was a divide in everybody's ideas of what they should do, and half the population thought that they should kill the people.
But Michonne wasn't having none of that. She'll stand by Rick and his plan.
She stand by her man.
She didn't try to stop Daryl, but she couldn't go along for the ride. Not that he needed help, really. But he drove the truck into Sanctuary and blew a hole in the wall. That was pretty amazing. I'm sure a bunch of zombies got exploded in that, but then they made it into Sanctuary where no one was really ready for that. Mostly seeking high ground is a great way. Zombies aren't great stair climbers. They'll get there eventually.
Well, but eventually there'll be so many piles of zombies that it'll be a zombie wall.
Yeah, but it's still a slow zombie wall. Like, I feel like if it was Michonne on a staircase, she could fight zombies all day and all night.
Right.
You swing that sword right, you're not using a lot of energy.
And it only takes 15 to kill before you have a zombie wall built up so high that
and then
they
it
can't
all
get
slows
through.
down, and then you have a much easier time.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever, they were having some issues. Eugene, I think, again thinks that he can get them out of this, but we don't know what that plan is. And he almost turned in Dwight, but didn't. And Gabriel's really super duper sick. And for the first time, I paused the show too. I was like, are they ever gonna? Like, is this why is he sick? We don't know why Gabriel's sick, but maybe, just maybe, it's because he covered himself in zombie guts.
And
sure enough.
Yay! Finally, somebody got sick by fucking covering themselves in rotten, disgusting, putrid.
It's truly
innards.
Amazing. Truly amazing that didn't happen yet.
Zombie innards, no less.
Right. I mean, you can't get much more gross
I thought you
than
couldn't get it in your mouth.
You shouldn't get it in your mouth, but germs can still get in through the skin, can't they?
No, I mean the zombie, I thought that was a way to get the zombie. I mean, I know you already have the zombie virus, but I thought that was a immediate way to get it.
Well, I guess not, because remember those guys, the cannibal guys, ate that one guy's leg, Bob? And then he was like, haha, fuckers, I've already been bit. And they were like, ew, zombie meat, but they already ate it. And they didn't seem to get zombie sick. They died soon after anyway, but I think
that's
it's just
one
something about
part
that
of the
bite.
plot.
Something about the bite. That's the thing that triggers and accelerates it.
The saliva.
It's the closest thing to the magical nature of this nonsense.
It's the fucking abscess saliva.
But but we do see finally that the zombies have germs besides the ones that simply make you just die.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the same thing. Fuck it. Gabriel didn't get bitten, but he does have a high fever. He's going to die soon. His organs are shutting down, and then he'll become a zombie anyway. Really hard to tell the difference between...
I think they might save him.
You think Gabriel will live?
Maybe.
Well, if so, that would be pretty cool. I mean, for the way the zombie virus works. That'd be kind of a first. He didn't get bitten, but he is sick because of the zombies. He's got zombie ick inside him.
Ugh. Zombie bola.
Zombie bola. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
That should be the name of an episode coming up.
Okay.
That'd be so good. So the last little bit is that Rick is in Trash Town and Jadis has agreed to join them, and they're going to get some prizes at the end, and she wants to sculpt Rick naked.
Right.
Although he says no.
Yes.
I would have said yes. I mean, if that's what it takes to get an ally.
Really? You would say yes?
If Jadis really wanted to see me naked, sure. It's you're talking life or death, you're talking war, and you're talking trying to make peace with these people. If that's where she's drawing the line, like she wants 25% of the shit they find, and then she also wants to sculpt me naked, and that's like her condition for joining the cause, all right.
What if she wants to screw you? What if that's a condition?
Am I single?
You're Rick.
Am I Rick? Okay, well, Rick is with Michonne, but I mean, I don't know. Like if it's me and I'm single, I'd probably be okay with it as long as we could go to my place instead of hers. Because she lives in a trash pile. And that shit's gross. And I think if we showered her up, she'd be pretty good. What?
Showered her up.
Gotta get that shit clean, babe.
Okay. All right.
She sits on trash all day, sometimes naked.
It's true. She's in the dirt.
I can't
She was like barefoot in the dirt.
Jadis?
Yeah.
Well, barefoot in the dirt's not as bad as naked sitting in the dirt.
Nasty girl. Don't mean a thing.
It don't bother.
It don't bother.
Don't bother.
All right. Do we have another episode?
No, that was all of them.
Oh.
We got through them pretty quick. Did we miss something? Something that struck out at you?
I guess not.
Oh. Well, the end of that was Rick takes them. He's like, let me show you the plan. We got Sanctuary surrounded by zombies. And then, like, someone's dead. Maybe his sniper, maybe not. I don't know. But he goes looking for some of his people. And he climbs up to the top of a tower. And there's no zombies at Sanctuary. But it's not clear. Like, you see this look of horror on his face. But it's not really clear why. Because there is a hole in Sanctuary. And all the zombies are gone. But is he processing all that, realizing, well, there's a hole in Sanctuary and the zombies are gone, so maybe the zombies are in there eating everybody and we win? Or is that, does he understand that and it bothers him, so he's not happy about winning because he didn't want them all to get eaten? Or does he realize someone fucked up? Or does he just think, oh my God, the zombies are gone, now Jadis is going to kill me? We don't know what's going through his head, and I feel like we have to get an answer to that for the season 8 the series mid-season cliffhanger episode. We got to see Rick. But yet it wouldn't really surprise me at this point if we didn't see Rick at all in the next episode.
No,
because
we have
he was
to.
the cliffhanger.
We have to.
But he was the cliffhanger.
But we have to.
All right. Well, it's not next week. It's literally a day and a half away.
Yay!
Or maybe a day by the time anyone's hearing this. So we'll do that, and I think we should do an episode about that one right away.
Okay.
So that way we get a couple episodes in quick succession for anyone that missed us. Hopefully
we missed you too.
Hopefully those people like Walking Dead. And if not, we'll have other stuff to talk about soon because Walking Dead's going on hiatus. Right? Right.
Correct.
All right. And you'll keep pulling up some Game of Thrones.
I will keep my eye out for
headlines.
News. Mm-hmm.
Sweet. And look for some Westworld headlines too.
Ooh, yeah. All right. I actually saw something about Westworld, so I'll have to get on that again. And
you know, for those of you that liked Westworld but haven't been watching the Marvel shows, we did have a crossover this time around. If you like that guy Logan from Westworld.
Oh, yes.
No spoilers, but he wore a lot of black. That guy Logan from Westworld. If you liked him, Ben Barnes, he's in Punisher. And sometimes pretty damn close to showing the full Monty.
Really? You think so? He was in his underwear.
He was in his underwear after. He was not in his underwear during. And it was pretty hot and heavy.
Oh, we'll have to watch that again.
Hey.
I missed it.
All right. Well, you know, she's kind of hot too. So there.
All right.
All right.
Anyway, okay.
So we'll be back soon.
Uh-huh.
Sooner than this last time.
Much sooner.
Yes.
With, yes.
Life is on the up and up, right, babe?
Oh, woo! Yeah. Living the dream.
That sounded convincing. All right. Well, any of you hackers out there, get on that. Find that episode. Find it. Find that pilot of Game of Thrones.
Get it.
Gotta get it. Gotta get it. Get it.
Good night.
Bye.